It's believed that UFOs and the phenomenon of abduction are necessarily linked. UFOs are exotic vehicles used by abductors to carry out their tasks. But where do these UFOs come from? Where did we get that they are certainly from distant planets or alien galaxies? And why not from underground or underwater bases that exist here on Earth, right next to us? Reasonable doubts. Of all the stories about the abductions of Earthlings by aliens, we're most shocked by the stories that the abductors are allegedly trying to create a hybrid offspring. That is, humanoids who would be able to throw a bridge between human society and the society of others. This notorious breeding program has become a staple of many books because of its disturbing overtones. The actions of aliens are being described by such authors as David Jacobs or Bud Hopkins. It's also believed that the ubiquitous Greys are forced to steal people, and they suffer from some kind of genetic disease that has deprived them of the possibility of natural conception, and so their only hope is infusions of human DNA. Now, this version is far from flawless, and it's noted by many critics. Geneticists ridicule the idea that humans can be genetically compatible with aliens. And that's about the same as if a person tried to successfully mate with an insect, scientists say. And true, recent discoveries in transgenic engineering make it possible to do the impossible, albeit artificially. Yet it's hard to imagine that the advanced aliens, apparently thousands of years ahead of us in development, would rely only on the abduction of unsuspecting people in order to obtain the genetic samples they need. And this hypothesis seems particularly absurd when applied to a civilization capable of interstellar travel or instant transit through space-time. Now, logically, they should have knowledge of genetic engineering significantly superior to ours. Even a civilization that was only a few hundred years ahead of ours would certainly have mastered the basic principles of nanotechnology and would have considered obsolete methods such as, for example, the forcible removal of an egg and a sperm, tricks of others. All this suggests that the aliens, at least some of their races, do not fly to us at all from some distant star system, but may well turn out to be our close neighbors, actually connected with us by a common territory. And their frequent allusions to the cosmos, like the famous star map shown to abductee Betty Hill, may just be a ploy designed to please our collective space visitor frenzy and get us to search not near home, but somewhere in space. And the persistent genetic interest of aliens in Earthlings only proves that they are a kindred species associated with us from time immemorial. Now, it's clear that not all contactees who talk about meetings with benevolent and similar to us aliens were deceivers and eccentrics. It's possible some really did deal with genuine aliens. And the fact that the others first appeared to us as space travelers shortly after the creation of nuclear weapons may seem to contradict the version of their earthly origin. But is it? I mean, if you secretly lived among savages and watched how they get more and more destructive with their weapons and how they treat the land that they live on, the territory itself, destroying it, burning it, flooding it, etc., then you'd probably be tempted to intervene too. But for your own safety, you would certainly prefer to do it in such a way as to not betray your own existence, and at the same time, somehow convey your message to these same savages. If we share our planet with local others, and the version of their terrestrial origin seems as sound as the extraterrestrial hypothesis, then of course it is possible that we are numerically, if not technically, superior to them. These others would be forced to live on the fringes of normal human perception, and perhaps use methods on us similar to the major recent breakthroughs in interfaces for thinking machines and mind control. But is it? And here's what's suspicious. Well, isn't it suspicious that, for example, so many contacts with aliens involve the use of chemicals, as well as the needles inserted into the heads of the victims? Sometimes abducted people are asked to drink some kind of nauseating drink before talking to the crew. Or they're given something to see images of scenes that may be intended for psychedelic processing. In other words, aliens, that is terrestrial or extraterrestrial, clearly prefer to change our perception of reality. We are, as it were, forced to participate in contacts without giving us the luxury of trusting our feelings. But excuse me, how does that fit in with the popular description of impassive alien scientists who don't give a damn about our feelings, and who apparently care about our earthly affairs and sympathize with us no more than a laboratory assistant sympathizes with his lab rats? What about post-hypnotic commands from alien orders to forget everything experienced? Why are these protective barriers quite often managed to be broken with such amazing ease? Is it because we're not dealing with stellar aliens, but with something else closer and simpler? Whoever these others are, their command of our psychic vocabulary is simply amazing. This is not at all like a pragmatic genetic harvest. Where do the aliens have this human aspect? And what does this portend for us? Once we've finished weeding out esoteric hypotheses, we're left with the troubling prospect that at least one crypto-Earth community is on our planet and suffering from a potentially debilitating genetic syndrome. And it seems that the others are desperate, and at the same time, quite sensible guys who have been harvesting the harvest from our population for decades for a possible long-term genetic repair of their fellows. And no, this doesn't necessarily imply malice. If we were in a similar situation, we would almost certainly do the same, taking equally unpleasant and tedious steps to ensure our anonymity. This is roughly the point of view expressed by McTonies in his article Human-Alien Hybrids, which appeared on September 30th, 2008. But this version and around it has its own special difficult aspects. What if the target is us? Can others set themselves any other goal? What if they are concerned not only, and not so much, with their own infertility, but also with our super ability? After all, there is a whole lot of us on the planet. So what if they are already close with us? The complete destruction or severe limitation of our ability to further increase the population of Earth could solve many of the problems for such a mysterious community. If we share the planet with another advanced civilization, then it's possible that it will wage a guerrilla war against us, including genetic methods. Isn't that what they're doing hybridization for? Where do these babies go? Which aliens often steal from the womb of the woman in the 3rd or 4th months of pregnancy. And how are they used? How are these hybrids being used? What are these hybrids? Do others really need them in such numbers? And for what? What if the others are trying to push and then completely push us out as a species? And not by military measures or by the destruction of Earth, after all. They themselves have to live here. Then it turns out that every bast in a line and the increase in the number of impotent, infertile, AIDS, same-sex marriages, and everything that our geneticists and demographers have already spoken about with concern. Exhaustion, weakening the threat of the future, and the complete extinction of the male Y chromosome. If we and the others really live on the same planet, then this may be a symbiosis that is beneficial to both. Or perhaps the position of predator-prey. Which of the two civilizations is the victim? Who's the parasite? Parasites, meaning consumers, live at the expense of others, and they have different strategies, one of which is the strategy of these so-called parasitic castrators. And the argument could be made that we are indeed already being castrated in general as a biological species. Who knows how they use the implants implanted into the human body? And the gradual modification of our behavior is only a preparation for a moral and physical castration. It's a monster idea, right? But like any other hypothesis, it has the right to exist. Moreover, as stated earlier, quote-unquote, the process has already begun, end quote. And we ourselves easily use other biological species for the sake of our survival, don't we? After all, we raise pigs to take their hearts for human transplantation. But first, we genetically modify these pigs. This is no science fiction, this is reality. And the others may change us and be using us for the same purpose. With so many conspiracy theories out there, it's hard to keep track of them all. Welcome to What We Know, where we try to uncover the histories and mysteries of the world by presenting all different theories out there, and the only narrative we push is this. Here's what we know, make up your own mind.
If you enjoy this video and want to see more like it, please consider subscribing to us and hitting the like button. Feel free to write a comment below and suggest which theory you want to see next. If you'd like to further support this channel, please consider joining. Our membership link will be found in the description box below. We appreciate your support, and as always, thanks for watching.